Hi, my name is Yasin Guev. This is a video about some recent developments around Yettel in Bulgaria. But before getting to the reason for making this video, which is the intended price increase that is proposed by the operator to its customers, I want to put the things in perspective and start with the deal and some details that at least in the Bulgarian press are not commented at all, information that it's not quoted at all, and this is given the fact that it's public. So, in the beginning, when it was announced that E-End wants to acquire 50% plus one share of the operators owned by the Czech fund PPF, O2 in Slovakia, and the Yettel brand operations in Bulgaria, Serbia, and Hungary, we knew that the price for this is 2,150,000,000 euro, and some additions, but we didn't know that actually there is a reduction of debt. And now I will quote you what is said in the announcement that comes from E-End. Strangely enough, the announcements, which normally when a deal is done are identical, are not identical in this case, meaning that some details are omitted in the statement that is made by PPF, which is not the case in the statement by E-End, and I'm reading right now for you. You see it on the screen. This transaction value is 2,150,000,000. In addition, and this is the new one, to an adjustment of 200 million to account for lower debt position and better working capital of E-End PPF Telecom. This is the new name of PPF Telecom after the acquisition of half of the shares plus one by E-End. And I could continue. The transaction is also subject to up to 350 million in earn-out payments to PPF Group if E-End PPF Telecom exceeds certain financial targets within the 3-year period after closing, and is subject to a clawback of up to 75 million euro if such financial targets are not achieved. In addition, PPF Group has a put option exercisable 5 years after closing for its remaining shares of E-End PPF Telecom, while E-End also holds a reciprocal call option for the same shares. And I want to show you, you can see on your screens what actually has been done on this slide that comes from the website of E-End PPF Telecom. On the left, you see PPF Telecom Group as of December 2023, and the total debt is 2,500,000,000. And on the right, post-completion debt structure, which says that right now the total debt is 1,650,000,000. Also below, regarding Yettel Group, you can see Yettel Group, NV Yettel Czechia, and O2 Czechia with their debts moved outside of the PPF Telecom Group. Another news that is important, and this is the next slide that you're seeing right now, that E-End PPF Telecom has closed a new 1,446,000,000 term and revolving facilities with up to 5-year maturity. And of course, this will be used primarily for managing the debt of the group, but there is also interesting addition. And the addition is that part of this money will be used for the so-called non-organic growth. To explain what that means that organic growth is when you increase revenue from whatever kind of services or products you're offering. Non-organic means acquisitions, which means that the group is looking for an acquisition. My guess will be that it will be in Europe. It doesn't have to be in the 4 countries where they are present. It might be there, but it might not be. We will have to wait and see. And now let's move to the next subject, which is the ambition to increase the prices. Let me get you back to the opportunity for PPF to get additional 350 million euro if certain financial conditions are achieved, and the need to return 75 million if they're not. So clearly, this is the reason for the next move, and I will look at my phone and translate what I got as a message from Yettel, because I am a Yettel subscriber. And I'm translating. We will give you more so you can do more. We are increasing your megabytes with 400 megabytes as of the 5th of January 25. Your monthly tax will be increased by 3 level, €1.5. And thank you for using our services, so on. So let me quote you what was the comment that came afterwards, after this announcement, and I will quote a Bulgarian website called money.bg, because they have spoken also with Yettel. They got some additional comments. They got additional comments from the other 2 operators and from the Consumer Protection Commission. So let's start. The update of the parameters of our subscription plans does not represent an indexation because of the inflation. Yettel Bulgaria updates all subscription plans, adding more minutes, megabytes, better speed, and the possibility of activating additional digital services. In this way, we respond to the growing digital needs and demands of consumers and contribute to, so this means they are more connected and informed about the things that are important to them, said Yettel to money.bg. The changes will be in force as of January 5th next year. If the improvements in the subscription plans do not meet the needs of the customer, they may contact us to offer other options or to terminate the contract without notice. This can be done between the 4th of December this year and January the 4th next year. If the improvement in the subscription plan do not meet the needs of the customer, he may contact us to offer more options or terminate the contract. However, in this case, the consumer will all use discount subsidies for purchases, devices, remaining lease payments, and debts for used services until the termination of the contract. So, what did say the Commission on Protection of the Consumer Protection Commission for money.bg? So they say, in connection with the intention of Yettel Bulgaria to unilaterally and without the express request and consent of the clients to make paid improvements to the technical subscription plan by adding more national minutes, more megabytes, and better speed, the Commission reminds that the current legislation prohibits the delivery of goods and services subject to payment when they were not requested by the consumers. The Commission noted that the law provides for a fine of up to 3,000 level, which is €1,500, for the delivery of unsolicited goods and the provision of unsolicited services for which the consumer is not obliged to pay, and the lack of a response on his part is not considered a consent. So, what about the position of the other 2 telecom operators? So here is a quote again. The source is money.bg. We're closely monitoring the development of the market situation and the level of inflation in Bulgaria. We're analyzing the economic situation and all factors related to the products and services offered by A1, including the actions of other participants in the sector before making a decision on future actions. We will inform consumers in due time what is the response of A1. Vivacom's position. In a dynamic sector like telecommunication, it is imperative to constantly monitor and evaluate various factors related to the products and services offered by Vivacom. We are always focused on the most current market conditions and trends, and as always, in the event that a decision is made to change any of the conditions agreed, this will be done in strict compliance with legal requirements and timely, clear, and transparent information to our clients. Here comes my comment. So clearly, Yettel is doing this, the increase of the price, in order to achieve a revenue that will make it possible for PPF to get additional payments. This means that the company doesn't have a viable plan to offer additional products and services that will increase the revenue to the level so that the option for additional payment could be activated and PPF would get the additional money. Going back to what I mentioned about the reduction of the debt. So because I think that PPF wants to get money, they have agreed with the buyer to transfer part of the debt to them and to receive an additional payment, which is totally fine. And right now, they are doing something which is, from my point of view, illegal. And it will be probably stopped by actions of the Consumer Protection Commission, because if it's not only the other two operators will follow, but also other companies offering subscriptions, whatever kind of subscriptions they offer, will be able to do the same, to increase the price of a service without asking the consumer unilaterally. Because actually doing it, they think, okay, not that many people will come to us and say we don't want it, and we'll make a profit out of this. We'll increase the prices. Why the other two operators are so vague? They're vague because after the announcement of Yettel, the guys that sit on their boards and their owners say, okay, the guys that are in Yettel will make more money. Are we not going to make the same? And even if the management of A1 and Vivacom would say, but that's illegal, the guy sitting on the board will say, well, let's see what the court will say. And if they say that it's not, we will have to do it to take advantage of the situation and obviously hurt the consumers. So there is not a lot of thinking about the good image of the company. And also it's a clear sign that there is no clear strategy of growing the revenue by giving new products and services. And when you don't have a clear idea how to do that, the fastest way of achieving the goal is to increase the prices. Also, let me show you something that because you might say, okay, the problem might be that because of inflation, there is increased cost for the operator. But let's look at the results. So here on this slide, you see the results of Yettel that are published on their website. The latest one, they're the first half of 2024. And just let's look at revenues of Yettel plus set in Bulgaria. And you see that first half of 2023, there were 243 million euro. And clearly there is an increase to 261. And speaking about EBITDA, the same is true. 119 million for the first half of 2023. And 126 million euro for the first half of this year. So it's clear that the reason for increasing the price is not the financial situation of the company. And the other problem is that if you increase prices and if the other two will follow, that might be a reason for investigation from the not from the Consumer Protection Commission, but from the Commission on Protection of Competition, where the fines are more significant. They are up to 10% of the revenue. So this is a huge problem if they decide after if the Yettel ambition to increase the prices will get through, and if the other two will follow and also increase prices, they might be investigated for acting like a cartel together, and if found guilty, they might be fined. So the idea to behave like this is not good also for another reason in Bulgaria. Bulgaria is probably close, we don't know, I have many comments on this issue, to joining the euro. But in order to join the euro, we need to decrease inflation. We are getting close to this, but most probably that will not happen in December. But that might happen, at least according to a recent statement by the governor of the central bank, Dimitar Radev, in January, or my opinion, it might be a little bit later. What will happen if companies, in this case in the telecom sector, increase prices? So increased prices go, and actually the result is increased inflation. So this move actually supports the forces in Bulgaria that are against the introduction of the euro. So that's my comment. Not a very good idea. It's much better to focus on new products and services and to increase the revenue this way. Of course, you should have the knowledge and ability to do that. That's all from me. See you tomorrow again.